Welcome to Rue, and this is a plant that can set you free. It has been used a long history of use by ancient Greeks, Romans, even in traditional Chinese medicine, TCM, as well as Ayurvedic medicine. And we're going to dive in here and find out a little bit more about this quality of setting you free. So first thing, you don't want to be confusing rue, which is Ruta graveolens, that's the plant we're talking about, with goat's rue. That's Galega officinalis, totally different plant. Or meadow rue, which is in the thalcatrum species of plants. They're all three very different. Here we're talking about Ruta graveolens. In traditional Chinese medicine, in TCM, it's known for moving stagnant liver qi. Moving stagnant liver qi is a way of getting rid of aches and pains. It's a way of easing menstrual cramping, for example, blood getting stuck causing pain. Emotional stagnation, where a person isn't able to really allow their emotions to move freely, give free expression to them, and then let go and move on so they're not just getting stuck someplace. In the West, it's considered a really stimulating and warm and moving herb. So despite this long traditional history, it is not really popular anymore because it has some toxicity. There are compounds within rue, there's a variety of them that have toxic capacities. Used in low doses, not a problem. It's used in food, for beverages, obviously as a medicine, but in larger doses, vomiting, liver damage, even death. So this is definitely one you want to be respectful of, and you want to be respectful of all plants and whatever else you may be taking in your dietary or health protocols. But this is one that does have this capacity. So given that there's so many more options available, for many people, rue, they don't need to use it. They could use other plants. And that's a great question. Why use something that could be a problem when you can go to something else? Still, it has a big role to play in traditions. Even touching the plant, by the way, can cause rashes, blistering, and then it gets exposed to the sun and it gets worse. So this is, you want to approach this one with proper respect. Protect yourself, use it rightly. It's considered that rue was probably introduced to England by the Romans when they moved northward. And even the plant's name, genus name, Ruta, comes from the Greek word meaning to set free. And this is because they feel kind of a dual potentiality in this designation for the plant, that it could be used to treat so many illnesses. It was so much a part of traditional pharmacopoeia. And so that helped set the patient free from an illness, but it also was able to set the healer free because it could treat so many different things. So when in doubt or when limited by what was available, using rue could help, a healer heal someone. So it had that dual kind of possibility. It's long been used to protect against plagues, and plagues don't just mean the bubonic plague. It means literally viral infections that would sweep through populations, cholera, all kinds of things that were nasty and causing death. Where 1 minute your village is okay and then the next it's not. Discourage fleas, scorpions, snakes from entering your home. These were all protections. These are another way of setting you free to enter your home easily, to feel protected. The Greeks actually considered it an anti-magical herb because it was considered effective in protecting a person from like the nervous stomach that can happen when you're about to meet new people or go on a public speaking engagement. Those sorts of situations were considered potentially magical in source, that somebody might be putting a spell on you. And given that a lot of this is coming out of the era where plagues were going around, where you could meet somebody new and all of a sudden, everybody's getting sick, maybe even dying, having protection this way was considered very, very important. The Greeks also used it similarly to traditional Chinese medicine, this move stagnant liver qi, which helps ease menstrual cramping. The Greeks would use it in the same way. So that has a kind of a global application. And in Mexico, they'll wrap the herb in cotton to protect the skin and put gently in the ear to help treat earaches, so it can set you free from that nasty throbbing. It has a lot of applications. You absolutely want to use it safely, Visit whiterabbitinstituteofhealing.com to find out more about Rue, what it can do, how to use it properly, and certainly other herbs that you could be using as alternatives so you don't have to worry about toxicity if you don't want to or don't need to. That's why herbs are wonderful. There's so many to choose from.